And then we met the Bishop of Hong Kong, who was a friend of our friends. And he said, when you come to Hong Kong, I think I shall send you to St. Paul's. They need some good teachers. So we found it easier to say, yes, we'll come, rather than consider how we might get there. So we arrived in Hong Kong in 1954, September, and my husband went straight into teaching in St. Paul's, and I started a few months later. We had a small child at the time, and I taught geography in Form 6 mainly, because this was the time when the university was changing its syllabus and wanted to have more done in school and have the students better prepared for life in university. And it was very enjoyable teaching in St. Paul's. The students were always very nice and polite, as they are still. I think that summarises I did 15 years in St. Paul's. Well, it was only a few months after the appalling fire in Wong Tai Sin on the hillside. The government really was not prepared for such a happening. And it was then, I think, that the idea of belonging to Hong Kong came about. It was a poor place. People lived on the streets, they lived on the rooftops. People used to take in, women used to take in washing, do the ironing in the streets. Street sleepers were everywhere. It was a very poor place. And in the 30 odd years that we were there, we saw it change. It was a two-stream school, an L-shaped building. St. John's College had occupied one wing. The gate was just a wire gate, and went down some steps, and at the bottom of the steps there was a lily pond. The Wong Ming Him Hall had not been very long built. And then St. John's built a new building out on the Fulham Road and left the building to us, St. Paul's College. Downside, the Fulham side, was a basketball court, and between the building and St. Stephen's Church was another basketball court. So our children had a lovely time with other children playing on these basketball courts. All students are much the same. I think the students in St. Paul's, indeed most of the students in Hong Kong at the time, were privileged and felt privileged to have the opportunity of attending a first-class school. They were anxious to learn English, and their English has always been very good. It was a pleasure to teach. We had a ladies' staff room. I think there were about 8 of us, and we had a delightful janitor who used to sit outside, and when we arrived in the morning, he would stand up, salute and say, "Good morning, sir." Which always made us laugh. No, I never felt that being a female teacher and foreigner was particularly difficult. He was a man of vision. I think that's how I would best describe him. He could see where things were not right and could look into the future of how he could improve them. And one of his first thoughts as principal was, this is a two-stream school and we must offer this privileged education to more students. And so he put into the building program and enlarged the school to a 6th stream, which was difficult at the time because it was a very confined building space. Yes, my husband was a very far-seeing, very level-headed, very sensible man, and he, when he moved from St Paul's, he set up the English Schools Foundation, which has gone from strength to strength. I mainly enjoyed being able to go into Saimpun Market. I used to buy the catfish in quite large quantities for my tame cats. And I was great friends with the fish market, the fish wife, and she used to give me a very good price. I could use my limited Cantonese, and we were great friends. Another lady watching us said, "Why do you give that lady such good price?" And the fishwife said, "Ah, because she is my friend," and clapped me on the shoulder with a very fishy hand. We were great friends. I have much enjoyed meeting two recent graduates of a wonderful school. Looking back, it's changed greatly since I was there, and I wish St Paul's College all the best in the 170th year. Unfortunately, COVID has prevented me from coming to Hong Kong to celebrate with you, but I wish you all the best.